Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you all for your patience. Wow. Wow, on many different levels. Wow, that we're planning the 26th through July 2nd. Like, where did June go? Well, June went to a lot of my health stuff. I am back I took 2 weeks off for my hysterectomy. And now I sit before you without a uterus. Yeah, it's I'm just so glad it's done. It is taking a long time to heal up. That's what I had read everywhere. And so just trying to allow myself some time. This is kind of my first time sitting down in a chair for a bit and doing something like this. So if there's some pauses during this, it just means I had to get up and walk around a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So the last time I was on here, I had gotten news that the biopsy revealed precancerous cells in my uterus. So when they did take it out and biopsy all of it, they did find a cancerous lump in there, but it was only like half a centimeter. They did check some lymph nodes. They took my tubes, they took my cervix, they took my uterus, because you never know. And all of the surroundings were clear, and they only found the one spot. So I come to you now with very good news for myself, that it did not spread. I am so thankful, so thankful that I got to keep my ovaries, as I kind of cheerily like posted kind of after my surgery there. I was just so thankful that I did. Although the plural ovaries, are the ones that have been producing too much estrogen all my life and therefore cause this problem. But in the long run, I need them as long as possible, for health reasons. So overall, I am just so glad with how things worked out. It was scary at times and a lot to take in. It's hard not to think some bad things may be happening. And I was just being really like open with possibly things being worse, or in like going, okay, what's the next step? Or, I don't know. It's just a very big journey. I know that a lot of people are not this lucky, and I still need to be screened for other types of things down the road. So this is, for the most part, because this is so self-contained, it is very successful in removing whatever is there. I do very much think about some of my other doctors kind of trying to brush this to the side. And yeah, that kind of makes me angry, because I knew it needed to be addressed. I think I knew in January that this was coming, but not to this extent. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know it was that wrong. I've been so used to, like, anything in my OBGYN experiences, just hearing, well, we don't know what's going on. We don't have an explanation. But it also could have been a singular doctor, because I was with one OBGYN for quite a while and had asked repeatedly for tests for PCOS, for different things, and they're like, we don't see anything. I think when I went to her the last time in April, she should have done a biopsy. She just really should have, due to going to the ER. And that's, I think, what the ER was hinting as, like, go to your GYN, get next tests. And then she's just like, you're perimenopausal. It just happens. I'm like, something doesn't feel right about this. Found a new GYN, and she was the one who lined this all up. I still had a lot of fear with lots of things, and that is okay. That is okay to be fearful of these things. But it is worth going in. So sorry, I'm really sorry. This is my gnarly scar, my gnarly bruise. It's been, let's see, a week and a half. So I'm sorry I don't have like makeup to cover it up. When they put the needle in, they just really did a number on my hand. And right now it's the most yellow. I was a little concerned because I thought they might have done a little nerve damage in there, but I might explain a little bit about that. I am used to the very small needles, right? And even for my last surgery for the biopsy, it was one of those little small, and it's plastic and movable. This was a giant needle. I think I had a giant one in the ER, but it was up here. It was in right there. Actually, you can see they tapped into that one. And that hurt, and I think they should have done it this next time, but oh wow, this like hurt solid for all the time I was waiting up until the surgery. So it's like, yeah. I was just hoping that this wasn't done wrong, so that when they administered the drugs to put me under, that it wouldn't go wrong. That was just my biggest thing. But it didn't. I woke up. I did wake up in pain. There was a reason they didn't put my head up enough. So I think the medicine was not getting down to my abdomen. And so they had to like put some more meds in, and it was not pleasant. But I know now, like every one of these experiences that I have, I go back to my chart and I say, what can I add here to have it different next time? Now, I don't have any upcoming surgeries, thank goodness. I've done 3 in the last year. I'm done for a while. I know there might be another couple coming up, but not in the next 3 months. My body needs a rest. But like I can't take NSAIDs, and so we found a way to put that into my chart. And then this last experience, they were very upfront with like, oh, you can't take those, because we put them under allergies. Even though it's just part of my other diagnosis. Again, I feel like I should do a whole video on all of my diagnoses, but yeah, I can't take them. And so they were prescribing them to me in my last, biopsy surgery. And I'm like, I can't. And you don't have the energy or the, even the coherence after a surgery to say, what you do or don't want. And so you need that as much as you can in your chart. And I use my chart. Like I am so reliant on that with all the scheduling and all the connecting and all the notes back and forth. So just making sure, like now I'm going to be like, needs to sit up when coming out of meds, because I feel like they did tip me up for my second surgery in May, and I didn't feel anything. The drugs were working. I had a really pleasant wake up experience there. And as soon as, it was over half an hour, as soon as I figured out the button next to me and I pushed on it to elevate myself, the nurse was like, oh yeah, you should do that. I'm like, you should have done this for me, honestly. You're so out of it. So there's going to be some reviews that I write, but it was the same as the epidural I got when I gave birth. Was like, if I was lying down flat, I didn't feel it working at all. But when they tipped me up, it would work. And so it's just how my body is. So I'm like, okay, where can I put that in my chart so people know? Sometimes you just trial and error. unfortunately. So that's my story. I just kind of wanted to share that off the bat. For the most part, healing really well. A lot of it is just kind of lying down with a pillow underneath my knees, just been watching a lot of shows, and then up and then moving, just trying to keep all the joints moving and everything. And I was up and moving like that same day, although I was pretty out of it. I think I took the Oxy for about 3 days, which is what they kind of recommend, and I didn't like that floaty feeling, so definitely tapered off of that, but I am still on Tylenol, so I was taking 2 Tylenol till about 3 days ago. So let's see. So this is Saturday right now. I was going to try to film yesterday, but it was my son's last day of school, and it was just kind of a lot, so I'm filming this here. So yeah, I kind of tapered off in here. I think here I started taking 1 and then 2 at night. I still take like 2 at night. And yeah, one of my goals was less Tylenol, sleeping all night, because I was setting an alarm for the middle of the night to make sure my meds were still. And that's just hard. It's really hard. It's back to the, getting up with your kid days. Like I remember those days. Probably not quite as hard because, you're not trying to feed a little one, but trying to force yourself to eat a little something with some Tylenol. But the Tylenols worked. Like, I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it did. It still does. So I would like to be totally off of it, but there's still a lot of healing going on. So I was able to kind of keep up to date with this. Let's see. I just made myself a little beef and rice. So I thought maybe I should put that in. We had some leftovers here. My sister actually bought us dinner on Thursday night, and then we had leftovers last night. Yeah. And then I actually did do these for the week before. So yeah, wins. My ovaries, negative test results after everything was removed. No bleeding really much until the last 2 days. So what happened was I was like, oh, I really want to watch some comedies now. And I started watching this one show on Amazon Prime called Deadloch, L-O-C-H. It's like, I love murder mysteries, and then it's a comedy. It's like dark humor, and I started laughing so much that, yeah, I did start bleeding a little bit, and I'm like, dang, I wanted to maybe watch some funny things in the coming week, and now I realize I can't yet. Sorry, just taking a sip. I will share this. This is what I'm drinking. Some kombucha, because they did give me some antibiotics during the surgery. Little sips here. Healing well, stopping the hard meds. We got to the pharmacy 5 minutes before they were about to close. They were closing at like 7 p.m., which is a little early to me, but in our area on a weekday, I guess that's when they were going to close. Got there at 6:55, and I told my husband, I'm sorry, you might need to kind of muscle your way in, and he did. And he got them just in time. What didn't work, the IV in my hand, I did have kind of a panic attack before going in, waking up in pain. So I do see how much my first surgery, having a student with me, helps so much. Oh my gosh, that helps so much to have someone to talk to during all of it. So yeah, if you are ever in a position where a student is kind of following you around during a medical procedure, just do it, because she was so sweet. And it takes your mind off of things, and you can talk about different things. And I felt very much kind of alone. When I got there, everyone had like a partner with them. And I only saw one couple go in before me. Like all the people had, like, they were all there for surgeries, but they were all, somehow people told them they could go in with somebody. And I had told my husband, go home, because it took quite a while for him to get home. And so it was nice that he could speed home and then just have some chill time and maybe like rest his eyes a little bit before coming to get me later. So, yeah, I only saw one couple go in before me, and they both went into kind of like the prep area, but like, I didn't need my husband there for that, but it would have been nice to talk to somebody. So I don't know. I think I might get some clarity on that later. Like, what are the rules? Because one person told me no one's allowed, and another person, like even sitting there in the lobby with me, and another person said, oh yeah, people can wait down there for a while, but they're going to have to wait a while because it's, yeah, like we finally left there around 6:15 p.m. So anyway, moving on. Asking for help, doing what I can and not pushing it, tapering down on Tylenol, walks. And right now it's kind of a slow season for myself. This next week I do have a reset coming up. But I was so glad that I had like stickers and everything in here for this week. And it was like these weeks just kind of blended together. I got most of this all done. I'm not sure what this was. K shop list. Oh, I know what that was. Okay. Yeah. It was just a quick shopping list for my family, for my son. But yeah, like I did nothing in here. My husband took my son to his chiropractic appointment. But yeah, it was just like all of these things getting done. And I'm just so glad I didn't have to go this week. Like, the sooner the better, even though, I don't know, it just is lining up just fine. Just fine. So, looking at my goals, I have been doing magic drafts. I didn't even put dots here. I do want to comment on this. So, it's really interesting to go through, like it's gotten me thinking a lot about like my first period experience, to all the times I went to gynecologists complaining about things, to having my son, to now. I find myself like in the last week, I've been like cradling my belly, like just kind of holding it because yeah, there's like, incisions that I'm taking care of and things. And yet the last time I held it like this, there was my son in there. And right now there is no possibility of that. And so I kind of feel like I'm being reborn. It's going to be a very long process because right now it still is very like, I can't do much for myself. I can't lift things. I can't. And I've been really good with that. I feel like I'm asking for help with things I can't do, like getting heavy things off the shelves and bending way over and getting into our fridge. Unfortunately, we have a top freezer. And so all the fridge stuff's at the bottom. We used to have one that was swapped and I loved it so much, but that we had to leave it when we sold our old home. So I know after a while, after I heal up, it's going to be a very different experience moving on. And I'm looking at all my trackers for tracking my period and I'm like, okay, how and what do I do now? And if any of you have experience with that, because I'll still feel some cycle, things, because my hormones will still fluctuate. But I don't know how I'm going to officially tell like the start of things. So I have heard from some people that their ovulations are a little bit more intense, and maybe that's going to be the only way I can really track it. We'll see. We'll see, because in my health, okay, so this journal has come in handy so much. I put so many of my questions in here. I tracked my meds in here. I am so thankful I had this set up. Tracking what I'm eating, sleeping, you know, so many things. And this is just a Hobonichi spring. And this will segue into the Sterling ink planners are being pre-ordered right now. They just opened up this morning, technically last night. And I'm thinking, okay, what do I want my next health one to look like? I definitely don't need many pages in the back. So having compact in the back, like I'll be lucky if I get through all these. So I don't need a year's worth. But then just thinking of the color, but I definitely want a Sterling ink one of these. I think it's going to be really helpful, anything health-wise going forward. I also figured out what I'm going to do for my 100 things here. And this was, I'm just going to share this real briefly because I'm not going to do another video on this. I needed to count out 8 weeks for being able to lift things, and then another 12 weeks for like complete healing. And I'm like, oh, well, that's like 85 days. So this is my 100-day project here of just healing up this summer, which brings me into like September. And the 100 days would be September 21st. But really, it's like the very beginning. I think that's the first day of school for my son. Maybe. It's around there. And just knowing, like, I'm getting through these. I haven't updated for a little while here. So what are we at? We are on the 24th. So just seeing like there's progress being made. Like I've gotten through these days. This is going to be the long part in here. There's a follow-up here that I have with my doctor. And then I have my only next appointment, you know, that I'm going to is here for my next infusion. I'm so glad I got my last infusion in. My goodness. It helps to just like, I got my extra extra COVID shot in. I got my infusion in. Like I got a lot in beforehand and feel just so like I have nothing in July. Absolutely nothing after all these appointments. So it feels just really good to not have much. Yeah, so I'm like, I'll take this, right? But when I look at, I mashed the little corners here a little bit. Let's see. But on my first bit here, I was tracking my infusions. So this was last year and this year, and the infusions were in boxes here, so I could quickly look at them. I guess I circled them. I don't know. I don't know exactly what I was doing. But I was tracking my period here, and like this, I guess I didn't share. I started my period. Well, maybe I did. I started my period right before my, sorry, my brain's still kind of fuzzy. Right before my surgery. So I just find it so ironic that I got to go out and like really wanted to show up right before. I couldn't have like just sailed through and not had a last period, right? Or like my one in May could have been my last one. No, it actually was the June one for 3 days. And it was weird to like be on day 3, right? Where it's a little more intense, wake up and it's gone. Like that was my experience, my last one. So it's unique, right? It's what it is. But then how am I going to track it here? And I also have another, in my other personal journal, it's like a moon calendar too. So that'll be something that I work on. But yeah, I just didn't really want to do a separate video on that yet. I think maybe July or August or something, I might touch back in on that one. that's just kind of where things are at. So that I found unique. I'm on my meds. I'm taking care of that. Self-care has been a little hard. Excuse me. Washing hair. My hair is super long, so it takes a lot to do that. But I do have a shower chair I'm using. I don't use it like all the time, but when I'm washing my hair, it helps definitely. So, the biggest thing for like financial was paying for our health insurance in June. We just sent that check off. We were like, can we pay online in any way? And they're like, no. So we sent that off. My husband's still looking for a job, but I feel like we just remarked 2 days ago, we're like, can we have a flip in June that is more calm? And we know that June, when you have a kid in school, is going to be kind of intense. It just kind of is. But this June was really intense. Like the end of May, he was going through so many different interviews. Then we get this news. He still hasn't found a permanent job. But I feel like July, because now we can just like relax. And my biggest thing is that I don't need to go to the ER anymore. There's no fear of having abnormal bleeding anymore. As long as everything heals up fine. Like that was one of my biggest fears of every time I have a period, do I need to go to the ER? And now that that's gone, it's like, whew, can we just chill out for the summer? We're looking at paying for July. I think it'll be this next time. So let me put that in for here. But I feel like he can relax a little bit more. Health insurance for July. And we asked to pay it early. We were like, can we just pay for it all now? Nope, not yet. But I did hit my max out of pocket. So everything will be covered from here on forward. But again, like there's not much in July that I need. But it's just good knowing that like the big expensive surgery, there's like a cap on it. Like, because that estimate was big. But we did pay a little bit more because we prepaid, so they're going to have a balance that they're not going to need. And I talked about, I think last time, of like trying to get all of my credit cards down to zero. I was even like checking on it, even in while being on meds and paying as much as I could each day. And those transactions that are like, they're charged the day of your last closing statement and they pop on. So it happened to 2 cards. There was like literally, if I was just totally fine and I had no medical issues whatsoever, it would have happened anyway. It just really would have. So I did my best to pay them all down. And it's just like those little $20, $40 things from life that just, yeah. So I laugh at it. I just kind of laugh at it. But I did my best. I did do something that I just felt horrible about. Was we were all prepared to have my son's therapy at 5 p.m. on this Wednesday. And like we talked about it, but I didn't set an alarm. And it was right when I'm like still kind of on my meds here, like double meds. Because 2 Tylenol for me kind of knocked me out a little silly. Like I get quite out of it. And we totally forgot. Like it came to like 7:30. I'm like, guys, we just missed it. And I felt so bad because she had hopped on and was waiting for us. And now we got to pay that penalty. And we're just moving on. We're just moving on. We all put reminders in for next week. So all of our devices are going to like go off for this next week. But it's just that like, oh, I have nothing I need to worry about. Oh my gosh, we just missed that. So we didn't actually end up doing this. And my son's been okay. It's just, to me, it's more the financial stuff. It's just like, when you don't show up, insurance doesn't cover it. And so they have the right to charge what they want for that. Environment wise, we are just maintaining, and I'm just using a lot of extra towels, extra clothes, of just keeping as clean as I can, and self-care of just, that's my job right now, is just making sure my body feels clean, and we're, so the healing and the rest and all that. So yeah, that's kind of how this went. I would say that's just kind of a continuation here. So I do have, let's see, a reset I want to do. I didn't do my podcast this last week. I would like to try to get back to that. And then my 2 plan with me's. Let's see. I'll probably do less meds here still, since I'm still on something. We're going to bring flow into health. I'm just kind of getting through the basics of work right now. I feel like July, I'm going to be able to be off meds and start focusing on some things. But right now, it's just a little fuzzy. So I will continue putting self-care here as one word, I guess. As I was explaining, I think I only have like 1 or 2 more drafts left. And I was surprised how coherent I could play, although I did say to my husband I was losing a lot. I don't play to win. I play to have fun. So shows and movies still, they're great at passing the time. I watched all the Bridgerton stuff. I watched the first season, so I thought the second season and Queen Charlotte were amazing. I have to say, Queen Charlotte was my favorite. Pardon me. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that. And so I feel like this kept my spirit, intact. And then I have my therapy, and we will do my son's therapy. I apologize so much in that email to her. I hate that feeling that someone else is waiting on you. And I also gave her my cell number. I said, you're welcome to text me anytime. I'm on some meds here. So, let's see. My other therapist would have texted me. Like my personal therapist, she would have texted me right away and I would have jumped on. And if we had even gotten a text like 10 minutes late, we would have hopped on, even 20 minutes late. But since it was by email, and it's like 5 o'clock in the evening where we were eating and like kind of in survival mode. That's what happened. And then here, just keep clean and maintenance. What I mean by maintenance is like the vacuuming, the picking up things. So I am able to, like just now, I was able to get out our little broom duster thing because they both have extensions on them and like broom things up. And I was like glad I could do that, but I'm not going to be like pushing around a heavy vacuum right now. So that's just kind of where things are at. Yeah. Do I want to put dots? I can put dots real quick and then we'll. But I have to say this card helps so much. I loved that I had that kind of mantra or that saying you know, let's see, what do we got in here? That one's extra. This one's extra. I just liked knowing the you are held. Yeah, I'm going to put this one in. Why not? Lungs filling up with air. That's actually kind of part of waking up. That, yeah, they were saying, no, don't go back to sleep. Go wake up now. It's time to wake up. But again, if I had sat up, I think it would have been more successful. I think, oh, I do have my follow-up. I'm glad I did this because, so follow up, not FU, my GYN oncologist. And I have, yeah, my list of questions ready. I just kind of keep adding to it. Yeah. And then my son has his chiro on the Friday there. Some of this, you know, I am coherent with. Oh, and then I heard, yeah, Makselife is hinting at, I might have mentioned this because I might have heard it before my surgery, is coming up with their color scheme in zigs, and I will order those in a hot minute. But yeah, right now I am going to be pre-ordering the Sterling ink this weekend. Yeah, so I'll probably get, I think because these colors, this is kind of a blue, and this is like a tan, for me to kind of keep going is I'll get a week's version in her, it's a mist color, which is a lighter blue, and then get the bulk. These are both 2024 planners, and I'm so thankful I won't have to sticker again. I don't mind that the stickers are in there for mine. Like, I'm so glad I have them because all I could do was get a hold of the undated ones, and great, you know. But the fact that I won't have to sticker them next time, I am like, definitely, that's why I'm pre-ordering. That will be really nice. But I'll probably get the, she called it caramel, which is like that tan color, which is very similar to the cover I have. And I might not even need to use the cover if, oh, that's only till 6? Okay. It's only till 6 on these. I think I was using up the stickers, but we're not doing much these days after 6 p.m. I will say that. So that works. Where was I going with that? So I'm just deciding if I want gold foil edges. I have gold foil on my personal journal, and it has a lot of astrological stuff in it, and it feels like a very magical, let's see, do I have it? No. I've shown it before, but it's a very special book for me, and to be able to kind of like add, you know, very personal thoughts in there, the gold foil works. The gold foil does come off too, and for all the of you who already know this, I don't, like, I'm so used to these not having gold foil. Sorry, I have like a bunch of other stuff in here, but like, yeah, I have the plain one and the plain one here. That's the only thing I'm trying to, because we can't do refunds. Catherine made it very clear, and I think very appropriately, that once you order these pre-orders, you don't get to change your mind. And I think that's a brilliant, you know, decision. So please, anyone who's ordering, please take your time. The order is going to be available at least for a week or two here. And that's why I'm taking some time to try to think about what I really want. And there wasn't, yeah, I don't think there's a price difference between those. So I'm being more conservative of, yes, I want those too. But just, do I want gold on them or not? we're going to do some summary stuff, but we're also going to use these fun colors. These remind me of kind of like cupcake colors, because my son has been getting a lot of cupcakes from his celebrations. I guess we don't really have plans for cupcakes after that, but why not? Why not? Just something to make it kind of fun to open up and kind of look at this spread. So that's just kind of where I'm at. Yeah, it's kind of retro here because it's my first time using this particular confetti one. Yeah, so I'm only going to be talking about my surgery stuff in this episode. And if you prefer, you know, having that little warning beforehand, I'm not, I think the grossest thing I talked about was my hand here, showing it. Sorry. Like, it looks horrible on screen. I'm so sorry. Other than that, though, that's all I'm going to talk about right now. And I just know that things are just going to get better over time. I don't think I've used this pink yet. That other one I used, a couple weeks ago? It was like having problems. It was a little dry or something. So I put a giant X on it when I put it away. Very see-through here, though. And that's okay, right? I swear, I do want to maybe make a t-shirt of that. I think it'd be fun. I think I want to erase this before I put tape down over it, because this is when I'd love to put the reset video. And you know, a July reset video is going to be pretty calm, right? I guess for some people, they have a lot going on. You know, everyone's going to be different. But because usually most kids are out of school in July, it's more like, how do we fit in all the vacations, that kind of thing. I know some of my clients are going on vacation, so we're just kind of working around that. Let's see. I love this grass here, but I don't think I'm going to put that in yet. But I think because July is starting up, I think I'll save that one for later on. So July is also my birthday month, and I want to keep a little bit of celebration things. Like, I think I'll keep these lanterns for that. But I just kind of want to welcome in July here. And I have been, I do realize I put the pennants, these little pennant guys. Ooh. Let's see if that'll come up okay. Enough for me to lay these down okay. Eee. Okay, we're going to go with that. And it works. There. We're just celebrating getting through a lot of stuff. And it's the end of Pride here. Yeah, like, I feel like I really wanted to celebrate more with things, to, you know, the first day of summer was this last week. So I want to put like this here for it to say like, hey, it's summertime. Let's see if I can use some of these up from last year. Those are like the main ones that I wanted to have. And I don't know, so what I told my husband was June feels like the Friday of the summer. July feels like the Saturday. And August, because we don't start until September, August feels like the Sunday. Now, I know a lot of people do start up in August. And so, you know, you may feel a little different. You may feel like your kids have been out for a while. So, but like, I don't think I'll do the moped here because there's an airplane. I don't know. Is there a reason? It's whatever you want. I do want to put some bubbles here. I think that's cute. I think the food I'll leave for food there. I will put a couple little strawberries. What do I want to put up here? Oh, some really high strawberries. Let's see. That feels like way up there. Oops. Let me just move everything so I can move these little strawberries. I just want them a little further down. That feels a little better. Okay. Whew. I know it's going to be getting warm. We don't have air conditioning, so we'll see. Like, I may be filming more in the evenings. You may hear some noises of fans. Like, I wasn't... Do I want to put little cherries there? Yeah, I'll put the cherries here. I'm trying to remember how I filmed last summer. And now I can't remember. I don't know. I'm just putting random things on here. Okay, I think that's enough. And what I really want to do is pick a card. Again, I'm mentally trying to be here. I don't feel like I'm pushing myself. I actually thought I'd have to get up and move around by now, but no, not yet. Not yet. And I'm just thinking about like what would be kind of encouraging for this next bout of like having that last card of just filling your lungs with air, your home, you're held. It just could not have asked for any better. Like right now, I just kind of wish I had a fan on me. There are some fans that are really super duper quiet. And I may order one. I may. Let's see. So, last note about the Sterling ink is that you will receive them in like September, October if you order now. It's not something that you'll get in the next month. So, again, all sales final. You will be getting whatever you order. And just kind of take your time because there is no rush. She's not selling out of anything. She's just the pre-orders. You can order as many as you want, but you will get all of those. And in, I think, October or more. I think she might say September, but I would not be surprised if it's more like October. And I'm super excited. She made some tweaks to some of the parts that I'll talk about in my business one, because I'll have that planner right in front of me. I think they're gorgeous. I'm definitely... My only question was like, will I still use my Makselife? And I like the reflections in here. I like this part. I could still see possibly moving everything over to a Sterling ink. I just know right now, 6 months before the end of the year, I'm not at that point, but in 6 months I may. And I'm kind of taking that risk, right? Like, I could see myself maybe just putting everything into one, like using it for both personal and work again, like I used to for this one. If I just love it that much, maybe that's just what I do. Because I know... Okay, you guys saw that, right? I'll take it. I'll take it. Like, I've been shuffling for quite a while. Okay. I'm sticking with that. Okay. I swear, I don't know how to do card tricks. I don't know how to do all this. So I'm just going to copy this. I do believe sometimes that the card may feel a little different, you know. There may be extra dust on it, and so it might slide around a little bit more. I'll own up to that, but it's not on purpose. Well, I did contemplate, like, should I just leave it out? Do I even need to pick a new card? Like, why rush into anything? Like, getting a new card sometimes puts me on a trajectory of thinking of something different. And so now is the time, hey, should I start thinking of something to do in the next couple weeks or the next month? And it's telling me no. Lungs fill with air. You are home. Feel hopeful. Yes. Yes. And if I just need to feel this for the next week, if I just need to be reminded that I feel held, that I feel taken care of, that I can ask for help, that I can, all of the above there. Let's see. I'm just thinking about some dots to put here. Again, I'm being super gentle with myself. I think red would look cute because these other ones are kind of reddish, so. And we have pink tones. But I also know, like, the things that I'm tracking here, what I'm, oh, I just realized I've been leaning on my elbow a lot, so sorry if that's gross. That's just, I'm just leaning on it. It's fine. My elbow's just fine. Again, like, my goals here were to get up to date with our finances, which has been a multi-day process. Not that they were complicated. It's just that my brain isn't fully up to speed. And so there were some big things that we were doing in the last week or so. And I'm just like, okay, I got part of the way today. Like, balancing my business stuff goes pretty quick because there's really not a whole lot of transactions going on there. But personal, we have a lot of things going on right now, for paying for medical stuff and making transfers and things. Oh yeah, I have been keeping up on my fiber just to keep kind of, well, that was more when I was on the Oxy. I don't really need to worry about that right now. It's more the pain pills right now. And then I'm going to write one is check calendar. And that means check in with my calendar just to make sure I'm not missing any appointments. I lost my train of thought a little bit there. Anyway, just knowing, like, okay, I have several different places that I'm tracking all of our expenses for the household. Like, I have a spreadsheet, and then I have an online, and then I have just our accounts in general. And that it's okay to get it so far and not finish it. And then knowing the next day I'll have a much clearer head to make sure the numbers are right. Instead of pushing myself going, okay, because that's when you make mistakes. And yeah, so I'm just going to put balance here as like a, not something I need to do every day, but something that I'm working on and kind of reorganizing a little bit. So, and then I want to do the reset. And I think I have it penciled in here. It's going to be one of these days that I do it because I want to release it here. And then the Makselife plan with me. And then the Common Planner. That's what it's called. Yeah. So the one you're seeing right now is right here. It's the Makselife one. My first one back. Yeah, I haven't pre-ordered. I still just need to, we did our last day stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I have, oh, I could put the pre-order. So the difference between, this is just letting me know like at 9 p.m. It was actually 12 p.m. Eastern. So I could have ordered last night. Again, I'm not in a rush, so pre-ordering sometime in here. And this is now. So we're filming now. But here just means I got it done for the week. Whereas this was just kind of it's on my radar kind of a thing. Let's see. I did get sleep. I've been up in my water. And yeah, fruits and veggies right now is the fiber stuff. Like I was taking some supplements, but I still want to track like that I'm on pain meds. I haven't gone pain med free. I thought maybe by now I'd be off of everything, but if I just take, at least I'm not taking 2, like the maximum that you can take within a 24-hour period. That's kind of where I was at, was taking 2 every 6 hours. But now I'm like 1 every 6 hours. So I feel like that's coming down. And I think I'll just put pain meds here because I have a feeling now I can start tapering off this week. And maybe by July 1st, I'll have that done. I think I'll just put these little lines here. Yeah, these look more pink now instead of red. Is there anything else I want to? Laundry, we're just kind of doing more often. My husband is doing it, and I'll just go in and grab some of the t-shirts that I want hung up. Most of my t-shirts, like right now, I found the comfiest pants at Target. They're super long, so I can hike them way up high, so they're not on my incisions, which happened to be that there was 5 of them across my waistline instead of anywhere else. So that's kind of nice that they're there and they're doing very well. So I really pretty much wear all black during this period of my life. Not that I'm in mourning. So you know who you are. But my friend sent me this in memoriam of my last period and this new start to my life. I had to laugh. It was a little card. Sorry, I got close to the mic. A little card with some flowers that said in memoriam or in memory of, something like that. And I laughed so hard because that's exactly it. But I'm just so happy. And I feel like in a month from now, 2 months from now is when it'll really sink in. And now I just don't realize it. It's kind of a rebirth right now of like, this is a new version of me. Because my period would hold me back from things. There'd be times where I'd have to be like stuck in bed for a day. I've mentioned this. It's sometimes 2. I remember there were times where I'd have to go to work and I would pop to a leave just to get through it, and I could not function. And I remember being at work one time and I'm like, I can't be here. And they're like, okay, you need to go home. And to have that happen every month, it's hard. It's hard. So if you believe something's not right, please keep bugging your doctors. I've been hearing even more from people saying, yeah, I finally got diagnosed with something and it wasn't great. And I had been screaming about it for years. Like, please, maybe I'll say this every single week from now on, but please keep bugging, because I still have some more things I need to tend to. I'm taking this break, but then I need to go back and get some other things checked. This was a big part of a lot of things. I felt like this was coming. I'm glad it's done now, moving forward. But to really move on with like getting a really firm grasp on things, I need to go back and do a few more things. But that's what you have to do. You have to keep going back and find another doctor, find another one if it's not working out. I'm just looking at these to see. I got my Ridwell is in here. They did come and mow this last week. I got my plants in. We do have meals until here, so we can go back to our regular kind of cycle with that. I'm not going to worry about putting in, well, okay. Let's put a purple. I'll put a purple. I think I'll film this day. And I think I might want to try to do it a day early to give myself some more time for the reset here. Get that a little straighter. And then where's the podcast? So if one of my things here is to check my calendar, then I need to put the stuff in for that. So I'll put that there. And I guess it would be more appropriate for me to put those I'm looking for my little baskets. There we go. It would be good for me to put in my appointments in appointment boxes so that I notice them the more. That goes there. I think I'll put that on top. No infusions. Oh, I do need to gas up the car. So, sorry, my belly's making noises. We want to do that by here at the latest. Yeah. So, let me put these two appointments in. It's like a red and orange. Let's see. We have K. Therapy. That's at 5 p.m. I know it's not quite being written in the right order here. But I think I need to get going here. I've been sitting long enough. Yeah, and then I have that appointment, and then I have, let's see. For mine there. I think with the different color there, I might rewrite my son's one there because this is the order I like to have it in, is the time like that. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. And a huge thank you to all the well wishes I received. I should have said that at the beginning. Again, I looked over those before going in for surgery. They help so much. The one that really just rings true is like, this will be over before you know it. And it is. Just getting past it. Just coming out the other side. I can get so fixated on the days leading up and then that day that I don't remember life continues on. That's what this planning is about. So take care, everyone. I will see you next week. I'm slowly coming back. Thank you for your patience on these. Wow, I got an hour. Next week's might not be so long because I won't have to talk about all my surgery stuff, but this is where we're at. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye.